Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to the Sweetwater Minute. This time out, we're joined by Mike Begala, Vice President of Customer Service and Support here at Sweetwater.
Thank you, Mitch.
Welcome, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
To come over. So, you've been here about 5 months now.
Yes, 5 months, exactly. June 3rd, I started with the company and was excited weeks before I started to be here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great. We're glad to have you here.
Oh, that's great.
So, you have a long background in customer service and support kind of things.
I've been actually in the world of electronics for over 30 years. I started out as a bench technician years ago when I decided I like to fix and take things apart. And customer service world has been basically the last 20 or 25 years with large organizations of customer service, both at other major corporations with 400-seat call centers and tech support groups. And one of the things I like the best about my organization is that I can relate to everybody in every position because I've done at one point or another in my career everything that they're doing. Right. So when you have a parts issue or you have a customer service or tech support, or if I have to talk to a guy on a bench and find out why a repair is taking too long, I can do it from my background because I used to do it.
Right, exactly. Now you also have a background in music, which has to kind of figure into that as well.
Yes. I've been a musician pretty much all my life. I started when I was, I think, 11 years old playing trumpet, and then got into high school. And in high school, I was one of the few students who, in my senior year, took off every class and composed a full concert with lighting effects and stuff over 3 different band, orchestra, jazz, and some others, and compose and perform that for everybody.
Wow, that's a major endeavor.
So, and then after that, got into drum corps. I was in drum corps for about 4 years with the Hawthorne Caballeros, and after that, kind of laid back a little bit, and then started teaching myself keyboard, and got more into writing music and composing and writing and so on and so forth. And
where did your technical background come from?
That came back from technical background was from school in northern New Jersey that taught electronics repair.
Okay.
And then after that, I got into several companies that dealt with defense electronics, then medical instrumentation, and then into consumer electronics. I remember when I joined Toshiba, I had to teach technicians how to repair televisions within 90 days, and I'd never seen the inside of one before. And so that one thing led to another, and I became so good that I was one of the better trainers in the northeast part of the country, teaching all the technicians how to repair the product. So my background is natural because I love to take things apart and put them back together, but I like to know why and how things work. And so and working with engineers, design engineers as well, working in design groups doing CAD CAM and anything that relates to the building and manufacturing of the product and manufacturing lines is a very diverse technical background that goes with how you approach the products.
That's certainly a very deep background that you bring to Sweetwater as well, because with the music stuff you understand what's going on with the gear, how people are using it, but also how the innards work. You get deep inside them as well.
You know, with products becoming more complex in the music space, I mean, I got in the music space with MIDI back in the early 80s, and over the last 20 years, almost 30 years, music's transformed itself to where things that were available only in a studio are now available in the consumer's home. And what that brings to us is a challenge that we can afford more goods and services to consumers to be able to create music, but it creates a whole nother level of expertise needed to use the tools and the products and then identify if there's something truly wrong or if there's just something that's an operator's error that we have to help correct.
Sure, right. And you have to take a real systems approach, because if you just look at one product, you're kind of missing how it interacts with everything else.
That's right. And with so many products now connecting to one another, you know, years ago there was no iPad. Now there's an iPad, a MIDI controller, a DAW, a computer, a workstation, and not just one, but multiple packages of software with drivers and interfaces that all have to work seamlessly together in order to afford the musician what he wants to compose and do on his project. It's challenging because we have to not only maintain our knowledge of what one product does in its own space, but how that product plays in the, so to speak, the sandbox with the other products, and avoid calling one manufacturer at fault when it could just simply be interoperability between those products from one to the other.
Right.
Yep.
So your department and what you oversee really has multiple areas. Can you tell us a little bit about all the different parts of what you're working with?
The primary area of service at Sweetwater is technical support. One of the things that sets us apart from other manufacturers, dealers, and so on and so forth is that as a retail dealer, we have an organization that actually helps the consumer troubleshoot the issues with their product, as opposed to just making a sale or a point of purchase and then bringing that product home and calling the manufacturer.
Right.
We pride ourselves on being that go-to for the customer the instant they buy that product and then get it home and want to use it, and they can call us for that support. So technical support is first. Technical support is followed by repair. And so we have the second arm of the organization is that if something truly is wrong with the customer's product, we can facilitate a repair for them without even missing a beat, and we can make sure that that product gets back to specification because it's also being tested, inspected, or repaired by technicians, and more importantly, musicians. So everybody who works on a guitar is a guitar player, everybody who works on keyboards is a keyboard player, and so on and so forth. So we marry up not only the skills of the repair as myself, but also the skills of a performing musician to know whether or not this is working the way it should or shouldn't. We also do custom installation, which is when a customer wants to buy a product and several packages of software and several pieces of hardware, and they want them all integrated and put together. We can provide that service for them so that when they get it home, they don't have to do anything but take it out of the box and turn it on and begin to make music.
Right.
We recently did set up an install for a large wireless microphone installation that would have taken a technician in the field, several hours or maybe even several days to calibrate and install and put it together. And instead we did it for him so that when they literally opened up the trans case, everything was ready to go. They could put microphones on people and hit a switch and everything's ready to go.
Right.
So we do that as well. We also have parts support for the organization, for our customers, for accessories and things like that. And then we handle just about everything else that goes with making the product work.
Right, right. So we talk a lot about the Sweetwater difference here at Sweetwater, and it's a wide variety of things, from free shipping to the total confidence coverage, warranty, to lots of different things. How does your department factor into the Sweetwater difference?
The Sweetwater difference, in some ways, starts with sales. And sales executes getting the product to the consumer, but once they've finished doing that, now the Sweetwater difference relies on my organization. And it relies on it because one of the key differences that brought me here to Sweetwater versus anybody else was that word or that element of customer service is something that the company truly believes in. A lot of companies today talk about customer service, but when they run out of options for the consumer, they're kind of dead in the water. They don't know what to do next. Our world is very simple. Take care of the customer at any cost, at any rational reason why you would do something. If we need to exchange the product for the consumer, it's the fastest solution, we do it. If we have to get them more importantly, getting the customer a solution to their problem is time dependent. So it's not because they'd like to have something done in a few days, it's because they have a gig on the weekend. It's because they have a mixing board that's going to be used in a Disney production on Sunday, and they need that product fixed now. We have at our disposal options that make that happen. And so we can elevate the customer experience to a much higher level than if you had just purchased the product from some other retailer.
Right, right. So let's flip that around. If you're the customer, you've got a product at home and you're having a problem with it, what steps should you take? How should you go about resolving that problem?
I think nowadays the customer has access to a lot of information, and one of the things that we offer as Sweetwater is an enormous plethora of information available to them on the website and in technical support forums that we've created. We're constantly looking at ways that we as Sweetwater can create more richer content for the consumer to solve their problems, whether it be a video production department, which I have, whether it be technical writers, technical support, sending customers emails about the most common things they might find the minute the product arrives at their home and dropped off by FedEx. These are the value adds we do as a company that we'll continue to expand upon and grow on as we find ways to support the customer in any way that they want. Years ago it used to be give the customer the best information. Now it's about giving the customer information and support from your infrastructure in the best way that they can, and more importantly in the ways that the customers want want. There are those gear guys that want to be up at midnight looking for tech support hints and information on the site. There's people that want to watch videos. And then there are people that can't do any of the above, and they just want to call our 800 number and speak to somebody who's knowledgeable.
Sure, sure. And we offer all three of those. We have SweetCap.
Absolutely.
That's 24/7, 365 days a year. You have your online support stuff as well as the phone support, guys. So that's great.
Correct.
Something that's always amazed me working here at Sweetwater is the amount of training the sales engineers go through. We have Sweetwater University. We have the twice weekly training sessions. We have lots of special things. But your department, the guys there have to stay on top of so much stuff. They have to be on top of it right away as soon as the products are available. How do they learn about all those products, and how do they stay on top of that just incredible amount of information?
Really, it's the best way that they stay on top of the information and the products is to be the ultimate gear nuts. We afford them the luxury and the ability to have product at their disposal, to have manufacturers get with us on information. We also have a strong connection to most of the manufacturers in other ways that customers may not, to learn about the information of the products and what's going on with them before the products even launch. But they love what they do, and their pride of ownership of the products and the company is reflected on their just natural interest in the products and how they can become the best at what they do. These guys are just ultimately immersed in all the data and information that they need in order to support the customer.
Sure. So how did you end up coming to Sweetwater and becoming the VP of Customer Service and Support?
Well, that's a pretty easy answer. I've been looking for a position for a little while. And I actually stumbled across the fact that they were looking for a vice president of customer service and support. And the reason that it excited me and became aggressive all at once was because it was a music company with gear and the need for someone in service. And I felt this was the greatest, I felt that this could be the greatest culmination of my career by merging technical support, customer service, by merging elements of music and elements of service together and binding it into a mechanism whereby I could be happy at work each day because I'm not just taking care of customers, I'm taking care of customers that I could relate to because I'm a musician and they're a musician, or they need gear working and I need gear working. So it's not like I'm selling somebody ice cream or insurance policies. I'm selling them the satisfaction of knowing that when they buy product from us, it'll be working for them the way it should, and if it's not, we're there to help support them.
Right. Mike, thanks so much for coming over and talking with us today. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, and you guys are just amazing back there. The knowledge and the service that you provide to customers is really, really something special, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mitch.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
I'm Mitch Gallagher. Thanks for joining me for the Sweetwater Minute.